For months, I've seen many viral videos of people talking about who they believe is hip hop's biggest fraud or biggest capper. And they say that man is Fat Joe.
What do you think about some of Fat Joe's stories?
I think he be lying. I had 300 guys waiting for me in every jail in New York. Legendary. My babysitters made up the, let me hear say ho. It's 2 girls. By the way, I was born in the hospital in the Bronx when Larry Davis shot them cops right across the street. I'll tell you a cap story right now, and nobody's gonna believe me if you wasn't tuned in. The Taliban took a day off for MJ. I'm telling you. The Taliban was in there trying to do the Michael Jackson.
Hey, yo.
Now I can say to the 2 people that still believe I'm not Cap, anybody who thinks I'm real,
There's only 2.
I've had 2. I'm fucked up. I'm so Cap a lot now.
I've been rapping professionally for 30 years. I've lied in almost 95% of my songs.
Fat Joe he definitely deserves to be in the conversation, but I don't think that the crown fits on his head. You know what? I think a lot of things probably don't fit on Fat Joe, but I think that crown is meant for somebody else, my friend. Yes, and I believe that person is Snoop Dogg.
Still Snoop Dogg and D.I.
Now, I don't know if this is something that you guys already knew about this man, but for like years. But growing up, I thought Snoop Dogg was just too cool. He was just way too cool. I loved his swag. I loved his style, everything, right? That Cali swag. But then a few years ago, he started doing these interviews. And in these interviews, he's talking. And when he's talking, the things just don't add up, especially when he started talking about Pac.
I was right there.
Oh my God.
What happened was, Nas ain't got a lot of people with him, but he got a lot of people with him, if you know what I mean.
They're surrounding.
Well, right.
Got it.
And I'm seeing him and I'm knowing, because I'm a gangbang. I'm seeing them with their hands on their guns. Tupac got the whole death row in we riled up. I step away from him. Him and Nas right here, boom. Nas like, what's up, Pac? Man, I love your music, I'm a fan. That's what Pac say. If you a fan, I dissed you, Jay-Z, Biggie, he named off a gang of them. I dissed all you on the song. And if you a fan and you ain't got no beef, don't say nothing. And Nas said, I love you. I never dish you. He shook his hand and he hugged him. And then when he walked off, Pac said, yeah, I punked that. In my mind, I was like, nah, he let us slide.
Lies! The filthy earth boy lies! He lies!
Now, one of the stories that he told, and I was just like, ain't no way, is he was with Pac, and this was like the infamous meetup between Pac and Nas. And yeah, I was there, and Pac saw Nas, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go step to that fool. I'm going to say this and whoop-de-woo. And apparently, Pac walks up to Nas, and he starts mouthing off, and yeah, da-da-da-da. I made a song about you. I dissed you. And Nas kept it cool. He's like, yeah, I don't want no problems. He's like, yeah, and I'm a real gangster.
C-A-P. Cap.
That's why I respect Nas, because he could have handled him. He had us surrounded. Okay, so when you say I'm a real gangster, is that supposed to be like shade towards Pac? And when you say that, like, he just walked up to him, are you trying to tell me that this man had no street smarts at all? That he would just step up to somebody that has like 200 goons around and not know to like pick a different time, date, maybe a phone call? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that like Pac is cowardly, but I would assume that he has some type of street smarts.
Snoop said that Nas, he had like 100 people with guns.
And I'm seeing him and I'm knowing, because I'm a gangbang. I'm seeing with their hands on their guns.
First of all, Snoop wasn't even next to us when that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, he bugging. He knew damn well it wasn't like that.
So Snoop was nowhere around?
No.
Tupac is tripping.
So you telling me when Tupac and Nas had the incident at Bryant Park,
he wasn't there?
I step away from him. Him and Nas right here, boom.
He's lying.
How you see that and he wasn't there?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, good point.
How you see that? He wasn't there.
I was right there.
Oh my God.
So Snoop, was he looking at least from a distance?
He wasn't around that circle.
He wasn't close enough to hear us.
Put it like this: if he was close enough, he'd have seen nothing but Death Row East white tees.
Wow.
When were the lies in?
20 fucking years later, everybody got a wild story what happened that night. You know, his brother Jungle, I'm about to shoot Tupac. He wouldn't have made it out the fucking park. Our niggas had heat. It was surrounded. There was nothing they could do. You know, anybody could be outnumbered. It's nothing special about that, right? But it was no win in this situation, you know? It wasn't no, you know, sort of amazing, wild stories that I done heard over these years. I'm gonna start with Snoop Dogg. Nothing but love for Snoop Dogg. He told a wild version, you know? I think like with Snoop, like when I Snoop, Kendrick, the joint he just dropped, he was saying to Snoop, I hope it was the edibles. I hope it was the edibles when he said this one. Because he had a wild version of the story, like Nas had Pac surrounded and all that. But I'm to Snoop defense, right? Snoop didn't come with Pac to this park. Snoop got there in his vehicle, his security, however he did. So I think all the niggas that we had with us, they was outside the venue, all our Jersey niggas. The niggas ain't come inside the motherfucking awards. They was outside waiting for us to come out. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe Snoop, he don't realize all these niggas is actually with Tupac. They're not with Nas. So to his defense, I'm gonna say that, you know what I mean? But he told a wild version of the story. It was a long time ago when I saw what he said, but it was something like, Nas, he had Pac surrounded and it was almost like Snoop version was like, you know, Nas could have snapped his finger and it was over for Pac. And I'm like, you know, I don't know, you know, in his mind, you know, he smoked a lot of weed. It was almost 30 fucking years ago, but Snoop's version for sure was by far the most off version. There was no truth at all to his version of the story. Mind you, I saw Snoop when all this was going on. He was way over there.
Yeah, you said he was from a distance. Yeah.
I mean, fucking way over there. You know what I mean? So for him, his version was just, I don't know why
he couldn't even hear what they was talking about.
He was nowhere near it. Literally, I think he was doing an interview with the cameras in his face. This is Snoop Dogg. You can't miss Snoop Dogg in the crowd. He's tall as shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know what made Snoop come up with that version.
Snoop told the story a few times, but he had it wrong a little bit. He had said that Pac stepped to me.
But it wasn't like Snoop said.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, man. So Snoop, he didn't see Tupac and Nas interact at all.
I don't remember Snoop being there. Definitely. I don't remember Snoop being there at all.
That's what you should need to keep your name. Snoop Lion, because you always lying.
And Pac had seen Nas in the park, and him and Nas had words, but Nas didn't want none. Pac is in this here telling him, I made a song dissing you, Jay-Z, Biggie, and I ain't got no problem with you, Pac. All right.
You know, when he got into it with Nas or whatever, and they said that they didn't see Snoop. So I don't know, man. I'm confused, man. What's Snoop there?
To be honest, bro, I don't recall Snoop being there. And the situation didn't go down nothing the way Snoop said it. You know, Pac wasn't cursing out Nas. None of that happened, bro. It was a mutual respect thing. When Pac and Nas met each other, it was nobody talking disrespect from both sides. But Pac and Nas handled it like real gentlemen, real, you know what I mean? Real respectful. It wasn't like Snoop said that Pac was like, to Nas, I do this and do it. It was none of that. And then Pac literally told him, he said, look, I got songs dissing you. When I go back to LA, I'm going to remove every verse that I mentioned your name in. But Pac couldn't do it because he passed away. So it definitely wasn't the way Snoop said it. Once again, I don't know why he keep putting his spin on it. You know what I mean? It's you know, I wish somebody can ask him that, like, bro, you said this, but other people, why are you putting that spin on it?
Tupac had a problem with Nas.
They had a problem, but they worked it out that day.
Okay.
But he turned to Suge and told him, we're going to take that verse off where I dissed Nas on Against All Odds.
No, Snoop. I know you smoke a lot of, and your memory is not that good because you wearing scarves looking like your auntie and all of that now.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
As you know, right, I'm interviewing Suge right now. How you feel about the comments he making about Snoop?
When we were out there in California, I was in the studio with Big, and Big said to D-Rock, yo, Snoop keep trying to call me and ask me where I'm at, what we doing, and what we gonna do this and do this and stuff like that. He said, leaving messages. He said, I'm not answering the phone. I'm not telling them where I'm at. So Snoop was going behind they back then, trying to get in good with Big them, or he was trying to set Big up. I don't know. So if Sugar's saying he a snake, I guess he keep his grass cut low. Because he was definitely trying to snake Big. That's what Big felt. He never called him back. He never got with him. And like Lil C said, they was out there for a month. When does him and Snoop go and smoke a blunt, eat some burgers, or do anything? Not at all. Because Big wasn't having it. He probably felt something was snake about Snoop too. Because he never got back in touch with him.
And you personally, you found that weird that he kept calling Big?
I found it weird that Big, the way Lil C said that they was cool with Snoop and everything like that, why didn't Big entertain him? Why didn't Big let him know what studio they was in? Why did Big let him know where he was at? He felt something strange about that also. You got to keep your grass cut real low when you got a bunch of snakes around you.
I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm so slithery and sneaky because I'm a snake.
Another thing that he gets called out for is because he claimed that he visited Pac at the hospital. People have called him out on that too because you're trying to portray an image. You don't want people to know that you and Pac were not cool towards the end. You guys fell out way before that. And the reason why is because Pac saw that you were someone that likes to play both sides. You are not a loyal person. And just a few months ago, Suge Knight even said himself that you were a snake. So if fans are seeing this, just watching your interviews, if the people that were closest to you are saying this.
Book, and you said that none of the artists on Death Row came to visit Tupac while he was in the hospital.
None of them. And it made me sick to hear them say that, oh, they were there.
So I go in the room with him, and he laid up, and I just get right on the side of his head and just start talking to him in his ear, just talking to him.
If Snoop's going around saying he went to the hospital and had a conversation with Pac, that is a flat-out lie. Snoop and Tupac was not on great terms. Every person went to go visit Pac. It's pictures. It's footage. No matter who went, he did not talk to Pac. He didn't have a conversation with Pac.
But I went there like, what's up, man? I know he couldn't hear me, but my spirit was talking to him. What's up, my nigga? What's happening? I was talking to his spirit. I want to apologize for making you mad the other day.
We put out 2 unreleased Tupac albums. Why you don't have a verse on none of those songs? Because that's a big deal. If you love the man like you say you do. You've been treating that man like an outsider. Make me a believer. I wish it's not true that you didn't have, your hands weren't involved with the assassination of Tupac.
This one's gonna get you guys, because it got me. He once did an interview. I hope he only said this once. He shouldn't have said it at all. He once did an interview saying that Pac, while he was in prison, wasn't doing too good. He was getting punked, he was getting harassed, and he was fearful for him. And was like, yo, we gotta get him out of there. He's not doing too good. Insinuating that he's weak, that he can't handle himself, that he does not have the street cred that he alluded to.
Was Tupac having issues when he was in prison? Because I know Snoop, he always say that he was hearing bad things, so he told Suge Knight to get him out. And I just did an interview with Corrupt, and he was saying the same thing.
That definitely, Corrupt, my man, I like him, but that's a false narrative that I think Snoop was pushing. You know what I mean? Pac, for a fact, he wasn't really. He had a lot of, like, he used to send us pictures, and his pictures on the internet when he was taking pictures with New York dudes up in Clinton. Like, these are the homies. He never hating on Pac, and you can just listen to their interviews, but they come off like they friends. You know what I mean? They're like, oh nah, I had to tell Suge to get him out because he was getting punked in Clinton, and I'm the one who's like, oh, come on, bro. We all know that what you're trying to do. You're trying to hate on the down low, you know what I mean? But trying to pretend you know what I mean? Like, very clever hating going on. You know what I mean? Nas almost got him, man. I'm a gangbanger. If Nas would have caught him slipping, he would have been washed. Like, all this hate and stuff. You know what I mean? So what they doing is that, because Pac is not here to speak and refute these things, so they doing it in a way where it's not straight hate. Like, the majority of the people ain't gonna look at it as them being haters, but people like us, we know where that's coming from.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Know what I mean?
People that don't know the story, they gonna look at that and they gonna be like, oh, what's the issue? He just telling his side of the story. He loved Pac.
Yeah, he loved Pac because he told Suge to get him out of jail because they was punking him in Clinton. No, bro, just leave it alone. You hating on Pac. He's not here to defend himself.
And I said I wasn't gonna include this, but I don't care what you guys say. This is important. But when he changed genres 11 times, I saw that as being super fake. He was Rastafarian 1 minute, changed his name. He said, I'm no longer Snoop Dogg. I'm Snoop Lion. Yeah, because Snoop, you be lying. You should have kept that name. And he said he went to Jamaica, was inspired, and he was just like, yeah, so I'm Rasta man. From now on, I'm Snoop Lion. Like, child, shut up. And then he dropped it the next second. And then after that, he was reborn. He was reborn and making gospel music, and he was saying like he was making music with the message, and I actually admired it. I thought it was genuine. I liked it, and I know this is why I wasn't gonna include it, because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you can't judge somebody's process. You don't even know what his intention is." You know why I'm shutting that down and I don't care about that, and don't even come over here with that, is because people need to start calling people out a lot more. We do need to introduce shame back into the game, because people play with the Lord's name way too often. And they do things in the name of God because they know that his followers want to see the best in people. And so we will buy into their products. We will buy into their message in the hopes that it is genuine. But you're seeing too many people dip in and dip out, and it's for profit. So if it looks disingenuous, we need to start calling it out more. And when it came to Snoop Dogg, it did seem disingenuous. He was saying in the song like, give me time, I'm trying to change, but that album was like almost 10 years ago, and I have seen no change. This man has progressed even further down the road to hell than he was before.
You're going to hell. You're going to hell.
And lastly, didn't he say he was gonna like quit smoking? Didn't he say that like another 11 times? Child, I'm just saying, I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just saying he has a pattern of being dishonest, being wishy-washy, and fence sitting. And when you add all those things up together, it just it equates a dishonest person. It equates someone that just be talking just to talk. And I don't like those people. I'm not saying I don't listen to a Snoop Dogg throwback every once in a while, but I'm just saying we know who he is. And he is the king of Cap. He is Caparella. He is Sir Caps-a-Lot. All them things. He has a crown. Fat Joe, you second.
Let me hear you say, ho, it's two girls.
All right, so that's my opinion, guys. Did I hit it on the nose? Was I correct? What do you guys think? Do you think that there's another one? I know that there's a few others out there. I know a lot of you guys probably have Bow Wow on the mind. Who's another one? Should I do another video, a part 2? Let me know down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys like this video. Comment, all that stuff helps the channel grow. And until next time, guys, bye. Love you.